Hi, welcome to my book club. Plan cul is French sex friend, a person you have a relationship with based on convenience and pleasure. Just like books! Yay! Cul, which means ass, is also short for culture, and a plan in familiar French is a recommendation. Because the goal for you in this type of videos, while being part of my personal exploration, is to make you want to read books as well. If you don't know what to read, if you don't read at all, or maybe just don't like it, it's always time. For disclaimer, there is books and books. You don't have to be happy or interested by any book you'll be handed at any time, and they're not made for that. I also don't like stories. Stories are support for ideas. They are the way and not the object. Secondly, I'm not a booktuber, in a way that I don't read books as an entertainment or a passion. It's just not what I do. Like some people spend their time being with friends, watching movies, baking, shopping, doing sport, or reading. While reading is indeed a source of pleasure to me, it's not the reason why I read. I do it to find answers, because this is what good selected books do for you. And this is why you will benefit from reading books. Books answer questions. Questions you ask yourself, questions you asked yourself but forgot about it, questions you never asked yourself, and questions you never even thought of asking yourself. But even there, books answer questions that you need answers to. They fill void. They make you more aware, understanding, accepting, and happier. Far from being a simple entertainment, books can elevate ourselves. Not in any religious or bourgeois way. It's the exact opposite. It's the concrete mind stimulant. This selection is not at all representative of everything that I read. All of them are in English and pretty short. When I read about half of French books and only a quarter of fiction, and the themes are not really decent. But what I am most happy about is that the selection is made of an equal number of books written by men and women. Let's go. The Sun and Her Flowers, Rupi Kaur. I had read Milk and Honey, the first book of Rupi Kaur, the major lead of this Insta Poets movement. Basically just people using Instagram to publish poems there, and so resurrecting modern popular poetry. And so The Sun and Her Flowers is her second collection of poems that are gradually posted on her Instagram as well. But the succession is really structured and tells a progression. It's like her first one divided in chapters that represent phases of the author's emotional involvement. But when the first one was really focused on one abusive and toxic relationship, this book extends to a lot of new topics. She talks about body positivity, love, self-esteem, family. She denounces the dictatorship of beauty and how it destroys women's body and self-esteem, while the pain and the grief of her past relationship is still the main motto of her writing. It's a necessary book. She definitely has a sense of good turn of phrase to make ideas resonate in a simple but concrete way, and mostly right way. She has a sense of expressing ideas and feelings in a clear and beautiful way, which make these ideas in a way more convincing and gives them more impact. I bought the first book because I related to her experience, and it felt great to just relate to her, like a You're Not Alone whisper. And in this one, she takes everything on another level. And they look good. The books themselves look good. While reading it, I asked myself whether she was an actual poetess. But by the end of the book, you have your answer. And it's yes. She is a real writer and a real poetess of talent. Because her poems aren't restricted by any rules, and that this book only exists because of the fan base that lifted her to recognition. The poems are even more powerful because they carry the impact that these poems had on their fans before they were published. It makes them heavy with everyone that related to them. How they met. They were Levithan. I bought this book used for a couple of euros because it comes from a public library. I really like doing that because this way I have books that come from all over the world. Fighting homophobia, discriminations, or hate in general is about representations. This book isn't quite literature, and actually it's a young adult fiction. You may know David Levithan for his most known work, the novel Everyday, or from his collaboration with John Green. That you know. Levithan's writing is his own mastered style, which is to really understand and embody teenagers, a really wide spectrum of teenagers in various situations. This is why his books are all first-person narrated, all picturing a great diversity of teenage people. And he does it as well in How They Met. This is the type of easy romantic teenager book, the ones that we might consider closer to entertainment than art itself. I'll admit that, as well as what I said about it not being quite literature, even if it doesn't affect the interest to read this book. Levithan is an artisan, which means that he knows what he's doing and he's doing it good. How They Met is a collection of 20 short stories about love. It pictures 20 characters experiencing love, each in a different way. The majority of the stories are truly inventive and original, and mostly teenager-centered, but not completely. The reading is inventive and nice. David Levithan has the control. It's truly pleasant, as well as being the book that I wish I would have read younger, that everybody around me would have read. Because half of the relationships in these stories are gay. And, you know, homophobia, internalized. These relationships are realistic, told with heart, and we need these honest representations to fight homophobia. The first bad man, Miranda July. So first of all, I'm a materialistic person. Look at this. I think this is the most beautiful book I've ever seen. Like really, like The First Bad Man is the first novel of Miranda July, actress, film director, singer, author, and artist. She published other books, made albums and movies, and won, beside from other prizes, a Camera d'Or, a Cannes. She is the kind of multi-artist who does completely a lot of different things, like Lena Dunham, which helped to read drafts of this book. She is a lot different than Lena Dunham, but if you like her, you'll like Miranda July. I won't tell you anything more about the story other than it's first person narrated by a 40-year-old woman who lives alone, and that there is no first bad man, not as you would expect it. And I stopped myself there. Just read it. Reading it made me laugh. Not clever laugh. Real laughing out loud like you never did. All alone in your house laugh. While staying being clever and being so advanced and relevant about so many different topics. What strikes me most with this book is the writing being constantly innovative and efficient and sensible. There are those peaks of genius ideas that she develops in paragraphs that are what she lives for. Basically, the woman is kind of overthinking and romanticizing her life. She has all these thoughts that are absurd but amazing. This is an immersion to the first level inside a woman's mind. The first 20 pages are so exciting compared to a part in the book where it's a bit repetitive and so a bit boring. But I promise it's worth going through it, as well as the things happening between the characters that might feel weird. Utopia for realists and how we can get there. Rutger Bregman. This is the perfect and undeniable on any point demonstration of how easily all the world's poverty could be eradicated based on 3 ideas. Basic income for everyone, a 15 hours work week, and open borders. It is comprehensive, readable, funny, thrilling, documented, and gives the hope powerful enough to drive humanity forwards, to conquer every of humanity's problem. This text has the empowerment power of any Beyoncé song, while being completely concrete and enlightening. The euphoric enthusiasm, impact, and reaction to this book has been global. Read it, just read it. It has been traduced in way too many languages. Just read it, it will change your life. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, click on the bell, and share. I'll see you next week for a new video, and soon for more Plan Q.